Hello everyone and welcome back to VW World. Behind me we got the ID.4 and the Tiguan. A couple people have asked me what's the size difference between them. Well, we got an ID.4 first edition and well, we just got a Tiguan S, but we're not going to be looking at option for option right now. We're just going to be looking at the overall size. So let's hop into it. So we are going to step back here. First off, walk around these cars a little bit and just look at the visual difference between the two. You can see on the Tiguan how it's more squared off in the back, whereas the ID.4 kind of slopes down a little bit more on that roof line there. It's kind of hard by just looking at them, seeing the size difference. So we'll open them up as well and look at the rear leg room and the rear kind of rear cargo space as well. We pull out some keys here so we can take a look inside. Like I've shown you guys in the past, the ID.4 definitely has the cooler key out of the two. If I can find it. There is the ID.4 key, kind of a new design for Volkswagen, and I just dropped it. My bad, sorry Volkswagen on that one. Let's open it up. Looks like someone already took down the luggage hider. So we're gonna take this out. We're gonna take this out to kind of compare the room in these. So here is the room on the ID.4. You can see how high that rear hatch opens. Now let's go take a look at the Tiguan. Tiguan's key design is a little different. Again, this is just an S, so we still have the different kind of standard fob on here. Being the S, this doesn't even have a car hatch, so let's unlock this here. Open this up. And we have that all open. That's what it looks like getting in the back of the Volkswagen compared to the ID.4. Now the amount of room in here. And this has all the seats up. I know that Tiguan, the seats were down. That's what it looks like just walking up to it. Let's walk up to, pull these seats up real quick. We'll look at the rear seat room in a second, but definitely a little more in the Tiguan. Well, again, as you guys seen before, you can get the third row in these where this one doesn't, but you definitely see the difference on this, how this has a little more room in it. The overall hatch height. I'd say I'd give it to the Tiguan opening a little higher, because it doesn't have that extra lip that flips down as much on the ID.4. That is a difference in the very back. Let's close this up. Let's move to the back seats. There is the overall back seat room. Looks like this seat's a little further forward. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just set driving position the same in each of these to where I would normally drive it. So I'd move this back just a little, just latch under here, pull it back. I would drive right about there. So let's hop back out, see what that leg room looks like. We hop back here now. So with this seat being where I would personally drive it, I have quite a bit of room. Again, I am on the shorter side, but I got a good, I'd say, foot right there between my knees and the back of the seat. And there's still a lot of space under the seat for me to put my feet. And comfort wise, of course, it holds me in there. Not bad at all. I'd say comfiest seat I've ever sat in, but definitely not the worst. As far as reclining, how far it will recline. And now let's hop over back into the ID.4, do the same exact thing. Let's set this to where I would personally drive this. I think it's actually set up perfect already. Maybe that's the last one driving this. Well, let's hop back out. Take a look in the back here. That's gonna be the back, the ID.4. Say this this roof line getting over, you can definitely tell the difference just initially getting into it. Seats definitely a little comfier in this. Again, these are leather where that Tiguan S is not, so I'm not comparing apples to apples here, but I'd say, I don't know, 9-10 inches or so. And then of course when you're in the back, the vents are a lot lower down. It does have vents, and then you got some USB-Cs right there. But that overall roof is sweet. Yeah, definitely as far as overall headroom, I wouldn't say it's as much in this. You got like another like inch or so between right in here and the glass. But this lip definitely curves down a little bit more in the ID.4. So if headroom's an issue, I'd probably give it to the Tiguan over this. Seat comfort, again, I know they're not the same kind of trim level or anything, but I'd give it to the ID.4. Let's try reclining these real quick. And forgot, I don't think, yep, you can't recline them in the ID.4, but that's the overall angle right in there. You can tell how it kind of holds you in there a little bit more as far as the seat design. And then that kind of probably 3-4 inches up. And then the overall headrest in the back, still pretty comfortable. Definitely has all the cooler styling in the ID.4, the more futuristic design. But now let's just kind of compare driver comfort. Close this up. So there is the seat on the Tiguan. Comfort level wise, I know these are more or less the same as the upper trim levels. They're a little squishier, I'd say, on the ones with the V-Techs, but overall dash line still pretty high. Steering wheel design, I know this one doesn't have the leather wrap steering wheel, which we'll probably just have to make another video later on comparing these closer, but I'm just looking at room more or less and kind of just how they feel. But everything is pretty easy to get to, and compare it. Definitely a lot more headroom in this than compared to the ID.4. Let's see, I'm gonna put the seat. So the seat is all the way down right now. We'll make sure the seat's all the way down in the ID.4 as well, but definitely more headroom in the Tiguan. And as far as everything feels, quick grasp so I can quickly jump into the ID.4 and feel the difference. All right, let's go over there. I know there's a lot of hopping back and forth, but I know some of you like to just know the difference on how everything feels. Look at the seat design on this. Definitely a lot squishier feeling. Probably help on longer road trips. Okay, and the seat isn't all the way down, so I'm gonna lower it real quick. Actually, this goes a lot lower than that back seat does, I have to say. And now with the seat, actually with this front seat all the way down, I feel like I have just as much headroom as the Tiguan. It's a little less in the back seat, but I'd say the front row, it's pretty similar. But how everything feels in this, definitely feels good. You kind of have that black strip comes up a little bit higher than the rest of the dash, but it feels like more squared off from just sitting in this driver's seat in the front than the Tiguan does. Of course, I like to feel this steering wheel more, but I know it's a different material. Overall, windows are easy to get to. Rear adjustment, everything feels just as easy to get to. Of course, you have the bigger screen that kind of controls everything, where you don't have a shifter here like in the Tiguan, so it feels a lot more open in this area, especially when you fold these armrests up. Feels nice and open. Great feel in the ID.4. If I were going on a road trip, I'd say this. I know I'd have to stop and charge, but not bad at all. Definitely comfortable. But between these two, they have a lot of similarities, but then a lot of differences. I like, and you guys probably know how much I like driving the ID.4. It just handles so well. Not that the Tiguan handles bad by any means, but they definitely did a great job with that ID.4. But there's a little look at just kind of the space between these two vehicles. I'll kind of wrap it up there, but make sure you guys smash the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep bringing you guys some more Volkswagen videos. All right, guys, until next time.